First story. OP found his fiancée cheated on her bachelorette party with her sister's support. So he called off the wedding and made her expose herself to all family and friends before ghosting and going on a vacation with his friend. Now her ex-fiancé and her sister contacted OP, begging for a second chance, threatening to commit self-harm. So OP told her to listen to her sister and went to NC again. I don't know how to explain all this. I was basically snooping around last night when I saw her phone tick it off. It was a message from her friends about the party. I stayed up like one of those stalkers you saw on TV and been checking the computer and Facebook messages with her friends and found out she cheated during her bachelorette party. By cheating, I don't mean getting a strip tease or something, which I would be okay with. I understand it's a bachelorette party, but she actually gave a stripper a BJ and ended up going home with another guy that night. She has this other guy added on Facebook, but the chat merely consists of a "had a good time" and "it was nice to meet you" convo, which dates back to the bachelorette party. I have, however, read the messages between her and her friends. They have a small group and found out what was done there. It all seems as if it was a one-time thing that happened then. But I'm a effing mess. I haven't slept all night, and she is headed for work in an hour or so. When she wakes up, it's almost 6 a.m. here. I don't know what the F to do. We are supposedly getting married in 3 weeks. I am thinking of simply packing all my bags after she is going to work and just leaving the flat. It's her family's flat anyway. We were planning on buying a effing house, having kids, and growing old. I feel I want to throw all of that out the window. I am sitting here smelling like alcohol, feeling drunk and depressed. I don't know why, but I'm more of an angry depressed than sad depressed. I haven't cried since I found out about all of this. Should I confront her? Should I just get out? Should I hear her side of the story? Honestly, I want to just go and stomp her effing face in right now. But I don't want to do something rational. Please help. Sorry for the typos. I am typing from my iPad, and am not in a good place in my head right now. Also, I am European, not English. Edit 1. I have been reading all comments, both good and bad. I didn't expect this amount of response, but I think I have my mind set on just leaving. I will probably do so while she's at work. I really don't know. I feel a lot calmer already and really appreciate everyone's comments. Not going to drink anymore or do anything stupid. I will try to update the post to let you know what's happening. TLDR, just found out wife cheated during bachelorette party and don't know what the F to do. She is going to wake up soon. Update. I will be posting the update here instead, since I am still receiving PMs to update what happened. I am not allowed to post in relationships. Mods told me I am not allowed to post an update thread there. So I got the advice from someone to post the update here instead. This is the post I posted about 2 hours ago on relationships. I will try my best to update it as time goes. I will try to be as detailed as possible. I have had quite a few PMs regarding what happened, and I got such a big amount of responses, both positive and negative, which I never imagined would have happened. I want to let you all know that the support I have received has been incredible, both in PM and on the post itself, which has helped me in taking my decision. I am also sorry for not being able to respond to all the PMs. There are just too many to respond to, but I would like to throw out much love for all of you who took the time. I would also like to give a big thanks on my post to everyone who replied. I tried to respond, but I noticed the thread was closed. I still don't know why moderators closed it, but I still want to give a big thanks to the people who took the time to give me advice. Much love to you all. I basically left in the morning to take a smoke. My head was still messed up, but reading all the comments on Reddit helped me. I can't remember who, but there was one guy who said the positive thing about all of this is that I found out before I got married, with no children or attachments. I still do not think she cheated other than this night. Nothing I found indicated anything else. I guess she wanted this to be her last night before settling down or something. I honestly don't know and don't care. When I was outside taking a smoke, about 15-20 minutes or something after I left Reddit, she had woken up. She noticed the drinks out and asked me what I had been up to, basically coming to give me a kiss and a hug. I followed through with it, but honestly felt empty doing it. I didn't want to give her any hint of what I knew. She asked me why I had been drinking and why I didn't come to sleep last night, and I told her I was just having some nightmares, but everything was fine. I felt detached, like I was watching myself in third person through a TV or something. She asked me if any stress was related to the marriage and the plans. I just told her something along the lines of, "You know I love you. There is no stress I have for the marriage. How can you be stressed about the best thing in your life?" She got herself done and left for work. I basically started packing my most important things. my desktop, computer, most clothes, and some other things. I planned on leaving things like furniture, TV, and other things I really don't care about more than getting the F out. I just took the stuff most important to me so that I don't have to return here again. I don't care if she gets the rest. All in all, my stuff added up to about 3 or 4 suitcases. I would say desktop not included in this. I called and canceled the venue we were supposed to be having the wedding at. Apparently, they take 15% of the money for canceling so early on, because we were having such a big event. I told them it was fine, and I really don't care at this point. I also saved screenshots of everything, and have taken them with me. Around 1 p.m., I called a taxi and went to stay at a hotel around 100 kilometers from my city. I didn't leave any notes or pictures at home. I just left. I am planning on leaving to stay with a really, really close friend who lives in a town about 300 kilometers away. But I just needed the alone time in the hotel for some time to think everything through and process what happened. Around 3:30 p.m., my phone starts getting spammed with calls from my ex-fiancée. Around 3:50, I start getting calls and messages from her sister, her friends, her parents, my parents, and a few of our mutual friends. The only people I called back were my dad and mom. I have a huge trust for my parents. I basically spilled the beans and told them a nicer story about what happened. Asked my dad to not say anything, and also asked my mother not to say anything. I told them it ended, and that I wouldn't be getting married anymore. I also told them not to tell anyone about what I told them. I trust them a lot, so I am sure they won't say anything. I didn't tell them exactly what happened, just that I found out she wasn't being loyal to me. I didn't think giving details would help in any way. Around 5 p.m., my dad calls me back and is telling me my ex-fiancée is completely hysterical and has basically broken down completely, not understanding what is going on. I just told my dad not to intervene and that I need some alone time now. I basically just shut my phone down and have been staying silent ever since, like a ghost. Been sleeping for a little, went to the pool here at the hotel, and have just been taking it easy. I don't know if I should respond to them now or wait some more. Her sister knew about what happened at the bachelorette party. I have the text to prove it. She even laughed about it and told her not to feel guilty because it was her bachelorette and that women should go all in on this night. I am seriously considering replying to the sister with just an image of the conversation where she is telling her this. Once again, thank you to everyone who replied. I will update this post 1 or 2 more times and then perhaps go silent for a while. I know you are only allowed to do 1 update on the relationships section. I hope this post won't get closed. I still don't know why the last one did. Time here is 10 p.m. soon. TLDR, I found out my fiancé cheated, and I left without saying anything. Not 100% sure what to say or to at this point. Edit 1. Since I still get messages asking what happened, I will leave this edit here. Yes, I did send the proof to her sister, the part where the sister is talking about it. I have since not received any call or message from the sister. My phone is still blowing up with calls and messages from the ex-fiancé. Haven't read them though, yet. Thinking of answering or something, but I don't know what to say or do. I might make another post later today so I can update you with what happened. Edit 2. Thanks once more for all the support. Sorry I haven't updated. A lot of things have happened, and I'm too exhausted to write it all out today. I will head to sleep and try to update tomorrow morning with a new post. Once again, thanks for all the support and all the comments and feedback. I never believed I could have a community help me in such a big way. I might go for a vacation or something. I don't know yet. I will just briefly explain that I really feel like Neo in the Matrix, dodging bullets in slow-mo. However, instead of dodging bullets, I have dodged a SLT wife, unwanted children with this wife, endless fights, and tons of depression. I honestly feel a lot better knowing my life will get better. Shortly said about her, she is broken down and is begging me to take her back, as are her sister and friends. They also come up with the most retarded excuse of what actually happened. I didn't believe them for 2 seconds and much more. I will let you all know tomorrow. Going to crash now that I'm mentally exhausted. Update. I am making this because I feel I owe it to all of you. The amount of PMs and responses has been incredible. Many of the decisions I have taken have come from people who supported me on Reddit. Both the negative and positive comments have helped me, and I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to write me and support me. Yesterday, I was having my phone spammed by many family members from her side and friends. The only person I responded to was the sister, with part of the conversation where she and the sister talk about it all. I didn't include anything in the response except an image of the conversation, and the sister went pretty much silent after that until later. During the day, I contacted the co-owner of my business and let him know the full story. He told me to take as much time as I needed and even advised me to head off to a vacation. This guy is a childhood friend of mine. I don't trust anyone as much as him. My plans have changed a bit. I am still staying at this hotel for another few days and then perhaps moving on to the friend I was supposed to go to. I called him up and let him know I want to head off somewhere. Perhaps a trip to somewhere nice, another country, or something. It's all still not 100% decided, but I know I will be leaving for somewhere. He said he would be up for joining me if it could be during the upcoming weeks, since he is still on holiday from his work. We will see how that turns out. Later in the day, I responded to my wife. The calls kept coming in less frequently since I sent that message to her sister. I had this gut feeling she was going to come with an excuse of some sort. I picked up the phone, and the first thing I hear is a torn-up voice, if you can say that in English. I could hear she had been crying all day and was in a messed-up state. She kept begging me to come back, saying that there is an explanation to everything and that she loves me. She has misunderstood the entire situation. I could hear the sister and someone else in the background. I don't know who the other person was, maybe her friend. Anyway, I told her to explain it to me right then and there. She said because I only saw a small part of the conversation. It's all been misunderstood, that I should come back home, that she loves me, and that I have taken a rational decision to leave without a real reason. During the entire conversation, I was just giving really short, empty answers in a cold way, like, yeah, okay, what? Explain it to me. After she told me it was all a misunderstanding, I told her to call me back in 10 minutes and to check Messenger. After I hung up, I sent her the entire conversation log, with a ton of screenshots, not all of them, but most of the important ones. It didn't take 2 minutes for her to call back, crying hysterically and saying sorry for everything, saying she wants to die rather than lose me. She said she was forced by her friends and sister to have fun one last time, and that she needed to let all the energy out before stepping into a marriage for life. I was just quiet during most of it. The more I didn't talk and just said, okay, the more she was crying. She started telling me I can F other women if I want to get back at her, or that she will tell everyone about what she did so I can take her back, that she will do anything it takes for me to come back, that this was a mistake of her life, and that she hates her sister and friends for this. I told her effing other woman was not something I needed, because the moment I met her and started loving her, she was the only woman I needed. I didn't need to meet or sleep with someone to know the best thing of my life was waiting at home. The sister was telling her stuff in the background, but I couldn't hear. I don't know what the sister was telling her, or if she was getting angry at her or something. She kept begging me, and I just told her, if she comes clean to her parents and family, I will think about it. After that, she started saying something, but I just hung up. For like half an hour my phone goes silent without much response, and her father calls me up and apologizes for everything. He and his wife know what happened now, and he is so sorry for all of this. He told me he understands how I feel, and that he didn't raise his daughter to do this. He said he understands if I don't want to see her again, but that I will always be welcome to him, and that I am a good guy. His wife basically then steals the phone from him, and tells me she made a mistake, and she regrets it, and it will never happen again, and that we can move forward from this. She tells me her daughter has never been this destroyed before. I politely tell her I appreciate her opinion, and then say I have to go and say goodbye. My ex-fiancée calls me back and begs me again, saying she told her parents and also sent a text message to her friends, our mutual friends, about what had happened. She then keeps crying, asking me when I will come back to speak with her, and saying we can even go to counseling, and that she will pay for everything. She kept apologized on the phone, and I didn't say much. After some time, I just told her not to cry, and that she shouldn't be apologizing because single women like herself are allowed to do these things, and I hope she finds Mr. Right. She starts crying even harder, and her sister takes the phone and says sorry, and tells me everything can be fixed, and that I said I would take her back now that she told everyone what she did. I told the sister I only said I think about it, and now that I have, I realize I dodged a bullet and wish her and her sister the best. She then tells me her sister is turning self-harming from all of this, and that this is going to lead into a depression that can take her life. The only thing I said after she told me that was, it's a good thing you are close to her, so you can make sure she doesn't kill herself then. Maybe take her to a doctor or something. After this, I just hung up. My phone has been blowing up with messages from mutual friends, her and her sister saying sorry, and basically begging me to come back. I don't plan on responding. I honestly feel a lot better right now, like I can move on. I will be going on vacation this upcoming week, I think. If something more happens, I will update this post. Maybe I will update in a month or couple of weeks. I don't know. Once again, big thanks to all of you who supported me here on Reddit and gave me so much support. I don't know when I feel okay to start dating, meeting women again, but we will see. Once again, thanks to you all, and sorry for a lot of wrong writings. I am not a native English speaker, so I hope you can read without issues. Thanks. Edit 1. I would also like to add that my best friend co-owner of my company hired someone to take care of the company for us, and also booked a month-long vacation for the both of us. I am lucky to have such a good person in my life, and I hope you all are able to find a friend like this. I would do the same for him. He's been a friend since we were kids, and if I lost all other people, I knew he would be there for me, so big thanks to him. Also, I don't know what more to update at this point. A lot of things have happened, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will reply as they pop up in the comments. I didn't know what other things you were wondering about me or the situation. As long as it doesn't give away my full identity, I don't mind answering them. I also think about making an update post in a while. When would you want it? I have had many questions about making future updates. In a month, when I am back from vacation. Once again, thanks for all the support. Edit 2. My friend went over to get the ring from her, but she refused to give it to him and told me she would not give it to anyone, and that I have to pick it up by myself. I don't know why she is still acting like this. I am thinking of just letting the ring go and being able to have a clear mind. Second story. Delusional husband allowed his wife and best friend to walk all over him and is now having a meltdown. She cheated with his best friend and kicked him out of the house, demanding that he not expose her affair because she didn't want people talking badly about her. Threatened to take away his children if he did. Secret voices. Hey guys, before starting the story, I want to let you know that OP is stupid and let his wife and best friend walk all over him. I thought my head would explode while making this video. I really hope that this story is fake. Apologies if I cross any lines. I'm posting this from a throwaway account since both of them know my main. I'm not sure if this is the best sub for this, so if there's any other ones that I could also post in, let me know. I also apologize in advance for my formatting, because I'm not good at typing long posts. I'm going to have to break it into 2 parts, so part 2 will be in the comments. Okay, let's start this off with some background information. Me and my wife, we'll call her Emma, have been together for 5 years and married for 3. We have 2 kids together, 4M and 2F, and I've always been the one working, while she was a stay-at-home mom. The other important piece of information here is that I've known my best friend, we'll call him Richard, since we were in kindergarten. And we really became close around my sophomore year of high school, so between 15 and 16 years old. And I'd say around 6-7 months after me and Emma got together. The 2 of them became friends pretty quickly. And it was nice because it meant that we could all hang out and be comfortable together without me having to split my time between them both. We started a group chat for the 3 of us to talk. And throughout the years of us being together, we would go back and forth from talking to each other all the time to months without speaking to him. I never really worried about anything happening between them because Emma was the one that started the group chat. And I trusted her and knew how much she loved me. So I wasn't worried about the 2 of them talking privately or anything. And because Richard was my best friend, and he never even mentioned the possibility of him liking her. Now fast forward to a year or so after we got married. My wife was pregnant with our daughter, and we had just recently moved, so I had gotten a few new jobs that didn't pay as well as we wanted them to. So we were struggling for quite a while. Needless to say, there was a lot of stress for both of us towards the end of her second pregnancy. I want to preface this next part with me saying that I know what I did here was wrong, and I regret it every single day. I am not trying to make excuses for any of it. But it's an important thing to add. With all of the stress and everything that was happening, I started to watch a lot of adultery since me and Emma weren't having sex as often. It started out relatively normal, and then became an addiction that led to me saving nude pictures to my phone from some girls on here. I didn't talk with any of them or have any intentions of cheating on my wife. But I did still betray her by looking at and keeping the pictures. I know how self-conscious she was during her pregnancy and afterwards, because she wasn't able to lose weight, and she didn't find herself attractive anymore. I told her every day how beautiful she was and how much I loved her, and I never got upset with her for not thinking she was beautiful or for not wanting to have sex as often. I have never found her unattractive or lost my love for her even now. But that didn't stop me from doing what I did and keeping it a secret from her. I kept the secret for almost 2 years, and while I didn't look at the pictures that frequently, I still did way more than I should have. Now, at the end of August last year, she found the pictures and confronted me. I tried to dance around it, But I knew I couldn't keep lying to her. After we argued for a while, she told me to grab my things and leave, so I did. After I left, she removed herself from the group with me and Richard, and she called him to tell him what was going on, because she didn't know what to do. She had also called her family and some other close friends before she called him. But he was her best friend too at this point. So I had no issues or anything with her reaching out to him for support. And I was glad that she had someone else to talk to that she could be more open with. After a lot of back and forth, I went back to the house with Emma to help her pack everything so we could move back to where we originally lived since our families were here, and we would have more help. We have gone back and forth about our relationship multiple times, and if we would get back together since all this happened. And we decided that we were going to take time to work on ourselves individually, and we agreed not to talk about the possibility of us getting back together for a while. Now another thing is that Richard has been talking to me and Emma separately since all this happened. But he has talked to Emma almost every single day, and he only talks to me every now and then when he's not busy. He also lives a few hours away from us now, so on the weekends while I have the kids, Emma has been going to his house and hanging out with him most weekends. The first few times she went, neither of them told me because they didn't want me to think that anything was happening or get upset. But I found out pretty quickly each time, and I did get upset. But Emma assured me that it was strictly platonic, and she didn't have feelings for him. Richard told me the same thing several times, and so I trusted them, and they started letting me know when Emma went to see him. During all of this, I wanted to see him too since we've been friends forever, and I was extremely depressed with everything happening, so I wanted to spend time with him too. Every time I tried to plan something with him, he was always too busy, but he was still able to have Emma go see him most weekends. As far as I know from both of them, nothing happened when she went to see him, and the times that she would spend the night there, he would sleep on the floor, and she would sleep on the bed. Now, like 3 weeks ago, Emma went to see him again, and they had planned it out because it had been a while since she had seen him, so again, I trusted them both enough that I wasn't worried about it. She left Saturday morning and came back Sunday afternoon to pick up the kids before going home. I learned from both of them afterwards that Saturday night, they were both drunk, and Richard confessed that he was in love with Emma and that he had been for a while. He said that he never wanted to say anything because he was worried about how I would react, and he cared about our friendship and their friendship too much to say anything that could ruin them. But something about that night and them being drunk changed his mind, and Emma was surprised. But then she said that she loved him too, and they kissed and cuddled that night. They agreed right away not to tell me until the time was right, because they were worried that it would send me spiraling. Sunday afternoon, when Emma came to get the kids, we talked, and she said that I should try and see if Richard was free and wanted to hang out with me. So I asked him, and we made plans for 2 weeks from then. Apparently that next weekend Emma went back to his house, and he asked her out, and she had zero hesitation in saying yes. Low_surprise_17112. Info. By naked pics. Do you mean random adultery stars or deliberate sex sent by someone? Was not looking at adultery a previous boundary set by you both? OP. It started out as just watching adultery and lurking the adultery subreddits, but then quickly became saving pictures of specific people. I never actually tried to communicate with anyone or start any kind of emotional relationship with them. She had said before that adultery was a boundary for her, but since we've split up, she admitted that she would watch it too occasionally. Update in the comments. The week after that was the same week that I was planning on going to see him. My plan was to go to his house Saturday morning and maybe stay the night and come back Sunday. One day when me and Emma were together, I accidentally saw her messages with Richard and saw that she gave him a little pet name with a heart next to it for his nickname. She didn't know that I saw it, but naturally I got upset, and seeing that made me start thinking all these negative things, and she could tell that I was upset. So she asked me if I wanted to talk about it. After going back and forth with her, I decided to tell her that I was just stuck in my head overthinking, and then I saw her phone, and it made me start overthinking even more. When I mentioned her phone, her eyes got wide, and she looked down and said that wasn't how they wanted me to find out. I asked her what that meant exactly, and she told me everything. She also told Richard that I found out, and he started getting upset because he wanted to be the one to tell me, and he didn't want me to be mad at him or think that he was a bad friend and everything. Emma convinced me to call him that night to hear him out, and she asked me not to be rude to him or say anything mean because he was already feeling like SHT about it. So out of respect for her, I called him and listened to him. He told me that his plan was to wait until that weekend when I went to his house to tell me in person, so he could explain himself better. And he didn't know what to say now, So I told him to tell me how he planned to before. He told me that he was in love with Emma, and he never thought that she might feel the same way, so he didn't want to say anything. I asked him how long he knew that he had feelings for her, and he said since me and her got together, but he tried to justify it by saying he didn't know how strong his feelings were until we split up, and the two of them started talking and hanging out more. Needless to say, I didn't go to his house that weekend, and I told him that maybe we could try to plan something else at some point in the future. I've been able to have some time to think about everything, and I have blocked him on everything, so he has no way to contact me directly anymore. I didn't say anything to him about blocking him or anything, and I've told Emma that I will be respectful to him if he's around our kids, and I won't say anything bad about him to them. But I wasn't going to speak to him again unless I had to, and it would be the shortest conversation. She told me that if I did get mad at him and try to say something mean to him, she would block me and would only talk to me about the kids. She also said that if I forced her to choose, she would choose him over me. Honestly, I don't know what to do, and I don't have anyone else to talk to because Emma and Richard were the only ones that I felt comfortable talking to when I was upset and depressed. She asked me not to say anything to anyone else about them being together because she didn't want anyone else to start saying anything bad about her. But I've talked to my therapist and two of my other close friends that don't talk to Richard or Emma. I've managed to lose both of my best friends in such a short amount of time, and I feel very empty and alone. Emma doesn't understand why I hate Richard and think he's a terrible person, and she always tries to justify it and argue with me about it. So I've stopped mentioning it to her. I just feel like a complete idiot because I always thought that he liked her. But the two of them always made me feel like SHT for thinking that. Emma always said that she wasn't attracted to him at all, and she could never see herself being with him. Richard told me that he wasn't attracted to her, and that he would actually help make sure that if she did move on and start dating someone else, it wouldn't be someone that was close to me because of how awkward it would be. He knew how much I still loved her, and how I would do anything to be with her again. He knew how depressed I've been without her, and he was the one that always listened to me when I was spiraling, and when the negative voices in my head would get too overwhelming. He knew that he had been in love with her for 5 years and never said anything to me, even after he told her. Another comment. OP. I'm going to be using this comment to answer some questions, instead of having to reply to each one individually, so there may be edits to this. I know for a fact that Emma didn't cheat on me in any capacity, and I know that both of our kids are mine. Everyone who sees them both can immediately tell because they look just like me. My daughter does look slightly more like my wife, but she still has more resemblance to me, and Richard looks nothing like either of us. We all live in California and haven't turned in the paperwork for the separation to the court yet. Emma wanted to get that paperwork done much sooner, so we could get custody sorted out for our kids. But I asked her to wait because I was hopeful that we could get back together one day. I don't think that Emma was having an emotional affair behind my back, at least not the entire time we were together, because the only times that she and Richard talked were in the group chat with the three of us. Towards the end of everything, we all talked on the phone more than texting, and there were times that I couldn't stay on the phone because I had to work, so the two of them would continue talking on the phone for different lengths of time. It is possible that she started to have an emotional affair around this time, and she may not have realized it. Deleted. Adultery versus an affair. Please go to therapy so that you'll learn that you deserve better. OP. I've been going to therapy for the past 6 months or so, and it's taken a lot for me to even think about anything like that. But lately I have started to realize it, and this post has opened my eyes to the situation a lot. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.